Alright guys, what's up? It is Sunday morning. A little update going on with it. Like I said, it's been a bunch of time welding out on that, so nothing looks really much different. We did add some diagonal bars here. You can see there and there. Start to brace up this deal. And when I'm mapping out bars, use masking tape, y'all, because you know what happens if you don't like it? You take it off. So kind of play with it. Roll of masking tape is cheap compared to cutting material and not liking it. So I built everything on this using masking tape. Tape it all off of masking tape. Look at it, study it. If you feel good about it, rock and roll with it. So that's kind of where I am. I'm gonna mask out some things and we're gonna see how it plays out. I might not like it, might take it off. So I'll take some pictures of me masking out and see what we end up with and show you how that goes. But yesterday I spent a bunch of time welding stuff out, so nothing really looked different, so to say. But we did add those diagonal bars right there, and man, as every weld goes down, the back end of this thing just gets so rigid it's not even funny. So it's progress. We'll see what happens today, so don't go nowhere. I'm gonna show y'all some pictures of masking this stuff out and probably throwing some more bars. So again, appreciate y'all, don't go nowhere. All right, a little tape work like I was telling y'all about. Had to go start the motor home, let it run a little while. I try to run that thing at least twice a month, something like that. Gotta keep them fluids circulating. So, can't turn the camera around while you're recording, so now I'm gonna turn around. Well, that's cool looking. Maybe I'll leave the green tape. No, I'll take it off. Anyway, so I feel pretty good about it. That's why I do all the mapping, like I said, with tape. You can draw on it, mark on it. You can just kind of see how it lays out. If you don't like it, change it. You ain't gotta love it. So that's kind of where we're at. I need to keep welding out some stuff. I got these diagonal bars that I did on the front of the back half here. I'm gonna go ahead and try and get those welded out too. Not far from being able to take the stand that I built to support the back half, because I built this stand to hold the main bar back here above the rear end, so I can remove that, get that out of the way. That way I have room to move around it and keep adding stuff. So it's pretty strong now, it's getting there. So I'm gonna get to work on that and get to work welding some stuff out. I'm probably gonna start cutting some bracing bars to go inside this back half. So that'll start looking pretty cool here soon. So y'all don't go. All right, guys. So I made my little tape lines. Show you how I generally do that. And I'm starting back here on making that tape line come to reality. So let me get my stand here. This is just gonna make it a little bit easier. I'm gonna show you how I generally get that deal going. So just bear with me here. Sorry if it's crooked. All right, so I knew that I wanted the bar to be this angled right here, okay? I knew this was basically what I wanted. So I do at that point, hey, and this is not the only way to do this, y'all. This is just the way I do it. If there's a better trick, by all means, share it with me. If not, y'all like this idea better, y'all can do this. There's 17 different ways to do this, so let me find my tape measure. That's over here. All right, got a tape measure. So like I said, I know this is roughly where we're gonna put it. The material's expensive. It doesn't matter what material you're using, it still costs money, so it's still expensive. We all work hard for our money. So I'll pull the measurement. Now, being that this is a smaller pipe going to a bigger pipe, it's not gonna go halfway into the diameter of the other pipe. So I know that if I measure from center to center, then I'm gonna be okay. That's gonna leave me a little room for error. The better you get with this stuff, the more confident you can be cutting it close. But if you're first starting out, it don't hurt. Leave yourself an inch on each side or something like that. Just in case you got to recut or something like that, you're okay. So when I pulled the measurement, and like I said, center to center was 26.5 inches, and that's what I cut. That left me room to make a mistake if I did. So now the overall pipe is done. It's probably realistically throat to throat, I'm gonna say 24.5 now that it's fitted up. So you can see how that translated. So anyway, what I do is I take my angle gauge here, digital angle gauge, digital angle finder gauge, doodaddy, whatever you want to call it. And once I cut the pipe down to the 26.5 inches, naturally it won't fit inside here, but I can set it up here and I can use a piece of tape to hold it where I want to put it. Or you can hold it with your hand, depending on how risky you're trying to get. And I'll take my angle gauge at that point and I'll set it on top of the pipe that's just sitting on top of these bars, because remember, it's too long to fit in here right now. And I'll use this and I'll find the angle. Once I find the angle here, I go over there to my notching tool and I match up the angle on my notching tool, and that's going to be the first notch. So I cut the notch. As soon as I'm done with that, I take my Tiger disc, which is generally a fine grit. Not super fine, but I don't want a 60 grit. You're going to chew through the pipe. I deburr it, clean it up. I'm not trying to cut my hands and all that stuff. And plus, sometimes the notcher, it makes it real thin on the edges. So if you try to weld, leave that alone and you try and weld it, you'll start eating away the material unintentionally. So once you deburr and stuff, it gives you a good material to weld to, and you get rid of the thin stuff, and it's nice. So anyway, I got my angle. I go over there and I notch it. Once I notch it, now one side of the pipe will actually fit in here. Okay. So I come in here. I set my notched in here, and the other pipe is going to sit on top here. Then at this point, there might be a better method. I'm not sure. Everybody I've seen doing this is kind of the way they do it, so I ran with it. I look at it from the side here, and I eyeball where I think it's going to run into, and I just get it close. I always notch it a little bit on the long side. So I'm generally, every time I notch, I'm going to come back and I'm just going to have to massage it slightly until it fits exactly the way I want. Now, once you get it in there, then you start massaging either side a little bit more. There's two ways. If you're good with the Tiger disc, you can grind the cope out or sand the cope out using a Tiger disc. If you don't feel that good about that, which it is difficult, they make a drum sander. You get an inch, inch and a half, inch and 3/4, 2 inch. Inch and 3/4 works fine for inch and 5/8 stuff, and it keeps it nice and round. They do make those. I do have those. I use them as well, but I've been trucking along now with the Tiger disc, so it works fine for me. Like I said, other things work better for other people. I know people that don't even use a notching tool at all. They're good at it. I'm not at that level. I can't afford to mess up. It's simple. It works for me. So anyway, that's basically how I fit this bar up, and this bar is now where I want it, but I'm not going to tack it in just yet. I'm going to use these tools that I shared with y'all from Central or anyway, magnetic tube holders. I have that holding this one here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some measurements off this bar to make a carbon copy of it, and it's going to go on the other side here. And I'm going to center everything up, make sure it's all square before I tack anything in. Now, once they're both in here, they're squared up, we'll burn them in. Ain't no big deal. But just want to show y'all how I do that and how I get the angle. These things, it's digital. You can see it's on. So these are easy. You can get them on Amazon, all that good stuff. I have no issues with them. This one's called a Rhino Woo. Can't make that up. Rhino Woo. Don't know who came up with that name, but they're probably not working there no more. But anyway, so yeah, that's how we do that. Stick around. I'll show you what it looks like as it gets done. Been doing a bunch of welding here lately, so I know it don't look like progress is getting done, but I promise you it is, and it's taking a very long time. So I'm gonna throw these bars in here and let's see what happens. Don't go nowhere. All right, I'm gonna show y'all my little. I'll figure it out, okay? All right, so I cut the bar, pulled the measurement, like I told y'all how I normally do it, from center to center. About roughly where I'm gonna put the pipe. So now that it's cut, I'm gonna set it where I want it. Okay, once you do that, you'll use your angle gauge. like I said, it's the best way I found to do it. It is eyeballing it to an extent, but generally works out well for me. So let me go cut this first angle, and then I'll show you how I do. Check it after that. All right, this is where you're gonna need your Sharpie, digital angle gauge, and look, I cut this. I want y'all to see how thin those edges are, okay? If you weren't actually to sit there with a tiger disc or belt sander, whatever you want to use, and knock that off, what you think is the edge when you go to weld it, it's just gonna melt away because that's no material. Trust me. Clean that up. Make your life way better. So, all right, got this one, that one side cut. Don't forget your tool. All right, see, I use my tool and it's holding it in place. That way I can focus on, make sure I mark it correctly. Now, once it's sitting there, you can verify your angles. All right, I'm gonna unhook this and I'm gonna go cut that side and let's see how it fits. All right, made my cut. Kind of show y'all here. You see she fits. So I need to deburr it and all that stuff, but she fits. So now we just gotta keep making the other side. Let's keep going. Just want to show y'all how I get that done. So I'm gonna keep trucking. I'm not gonna video every single step now that I've showed y'all how to do it. So I'll come back when I get the other ones put in and show y'all what it looks like. All right, I think we got done what we needed to get done. Maddie come in, tell him hi. She come in, she's working the pedal. It's been a lifesaver because now I'm starting to get in some awkward positions. So as you can see, got some bracing in there for the back half and it's really rock solid now. Also added in some more diagonal bracing on the side because this 4-link area is extremely important. This is where all the abuse is getting applied to. The whole purpose right here is once you launch this thing, these 4-link bars want to get ripped out of it. So let's see here. Let me go to the other side. I'll show you too. See, this one's in too. Got these bars in as well. It's really solid now, y'all. It feels really good. I need to get some material to do the ladder bracing here because this can be done out of 1-inch, and they do not make dough call in 1-inch. So I could have got away with actually making these inner bars out of 1-inch, but I chose to make them out of 1.25 inches. So I need to get some 1-inch chromoly, and then I'll do the ladders out of that. I did get the mid plate in as well, so I'm gonna get started on that when I get a mock-up block. Justin Heckman, Jay and Granite, Baron Racing, man, he come in clutch. He hit me up. He said, "Hey man, I got a foam mock-up block. I'll send it to you, cover shipping, all that. You can use it and send it back to me when you're done." That is a lifesaver. I don't know if y'all have picked up a big block before, but it ain't light, even empty. So that's going to make it a lot easier on us. I already have an empty case for the transmission. So we'll be able to get that set up and lined out, and then we'll keep trucking on the inside. I still need to do the funny car deal. Once I get the motor mocked up, I'll do the mid plate, cut it out. I'll show you all how to cut that out. We'll learn that together because I ain't never done that, just like the rest of this. And we'll build the halo for it, figure out the front plate situation, and start building bar set from the dash. Then we'll start doing double frame rail stuff, and it's gonna come together pretty quick. So it's gonna be pretty exciting. But we made some good progress this weekend. We did a lot of welding. I know it don't really look like much, but we did a bunch of welding. So it's better to get on top of that stuff now, because if you wait till it's done, it's just gonna be miserable, and then I'm gonna have to have everybody come out with a Sharpie and find out where it's not welded so we can come back and weld it. So we're welding some stuff out now, and like I said, she's been a lifesaver. So that's gonna be it. I feel pretty good about it. Maddie, you need to tell them anything? All right, so that's gonna be it. Like I said, like, subscribe, love it, share it, and we'll be back for another one. I think this is gonna pretty much sum up the back of the truck for the most part. We'll come back to it when it's time to do the ladder bracing and stuff like that, but I think we're gonna move on to something different. So we appreciate the love, support, the comments, and all that stuff, and let us know what you think.